I'm also testing the holders only area with all the streams.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's see here. Let's get this thing configured. Sign out. Put my mask on. Good morning, everybody. We're just getting settled in. So when that news came out yesterday, were you watching the markets or like I guess you
It,
were because you
it caught me by surprise. I wasn't because it came in, I think, around eight something.
yeah,
So I was not in front of the screen. When I saw it, um that's when I messaged you.
right. But which charts were affected?
Everything.
Okay. And
Everything.
you said was it like was it dollar up, dollar down? I honestly I haven't even looked at, right? So
It was a dollar, Trump, right? He affects the dollar all the time. It's 2016 to 2020 trading back in action all over again.
right.
Because back in 2016, um, he was doing the same thing, like random movements out of nowhere.
Right. I wonder
So
if it's by design just to liquidate, you know?
yeah, yeah. And plus, what I also thought was it's the end of the month. So the
Yeah.
end of the month price
Oh man.
movement. That's what I was thinking was.
The conspiracy theories start kicking in. Right? It's like who's on the other side?
Yeah,
Who's on the other side of these trades?
man, this guy. But I was reading some of the comments on Price Factory, and people were like complaining. Oh, I blew my account. Um,
Oh no.
yeah, it was bad. I mean, let me see if I can read some of it to our audience. And
Send them a link to a live session.
sorry.
Send them a link to a live session.
Yeah, Forest Factory. If you go to Forest Factory and then you go to
Right,
um where Trump said something about no chance BRICS will replace US dollar.
right.
Any country trying to replace US dollar will face tariffs. Yeah. And then the market
100%
went,
tariffs, right?
yeah, the market went nuts.
It's tit for tat though. That's the thing is, I think because BRICS is I was mentioning is combined higher GDP, right?
Mhm.
And it's like
And
you open that floodgate and uh, tit for tat tariffs. I mean, you
and
have a
also
combined.
yeah, and also he did mention something about CAD. Trump will impose 20% tariff on Canada.
Yo, we're taking Alaska.
He's gonna impose 20% tariffs on Canada. Man, the card went nuts. Like
Right.
if you see the card chart, it's unbelievable. The weight
Can
on
you
some
show
of
me?
the card is sure. It did go for the
Like,
low that I was talking about, which actually makes sense. It did, but
okay,
not
yeah,
I was not supposed to do it that way. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen.
nice.
So if you look at um can you see my screen?
I can see, yeah, yeah.
So that's the Canadian futures, right? So with that tweet, it sent it lower to where I was saying they're gonna go for, and then immediately rejected. Again, the things that we shared, like there's a low here and there's a lower low here, so price needs to immediately reject. So on the lower time frame, that's how it looks like.
Yeah.
That's how it came in like a flash. That's a 5 minute shot. So
How big was the move?
how big was the move? It moved, let me see. It moved 161 points within 5 minutes. One, two, three, four. Within four
All
minutes.
right.
That's crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So some traders were warning about how that news got them stopped out. So if you look here, uh, some people are going crazy.
Yeah.
Easy blew my account already.
Oh man.
355 pips down in a minute. In the middle of the night, it got liquidated. Stepped away for 50
Jeez.
and 100 pips in profit gone.
Or like, what are these people doing?
I lost I lost on my way to it because of the tweets.
Oh my
Why can't
God.
he do this after the market closes? I was laughing. I was hugely in profit and that all went away. Wiped out all
Unbelievable.
silent stuff just at the end of the day, just because he wanted to. Just realized my account zeroed out.
How is it that all these people are considering themselves to be traders,
Well, I
right?
don't know.
Like with the comments like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because you put yourself at, if you're on the high time frame, right, then you will not be affected because it will move in your favor. Because if you're expecting CAD to attack this low, right, that means CAD is going to be weak. So you position yourself, as I was saying, that anything to do with CAD you want to buy. So if you look at most of the CAD pairs, right, it went up. So Aussie CAD went up and then rejected. New Zealand CAD, the one that we've been following, he actually took it to the target, that level. The
Nice.
0.82146 level. He took it right there and then rejected. Right. So if one position themselves properly, then the only thing that didn't play out was the British pound. I was expecting it to shoot up, but then it came back down. But it's still rejected to go back up anyway.
Yeah. How did
So
BTC react at that time?
nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Not even like
It didn't even blink.
not even a wobble?
No, it's doing its
Jeez.
normal thing. Nothing really happened to it. But I think soon. they're gonna jump on that too. Um, because it's just a matter of time. Um, he'll start tweeting about cryptocurrencies, and then that too will go nuts as well.
I wonder like so the all those messages are they're not like actually happening yet. It's all like, oh, it's this will happen if this
Hmm.
happens, or right?
Hmm.
It's more like saber rattling, right?
Hmm. That's
So
what
it's
it is.
kind of like, yeah,
So it's just speculation. They are not. He's not actually, he's not actually put them into effect yet. But just the speculation of it is what causes the market to move.
yeah,
He probably not do none of that. Probably, or most of it, he will not. He's just causing the market to go nuts. That's all. That's what he's doing. Anyway,
yep, yep.
so yesterday, as we were having the session, right, dollar index was down. Let me go to, let me use capital for just 1 minute. See what was there. There was a down candle here. On mine, it didn't show. Oh, it's not showing.
Oh yeah,
Actually, it is there. There's a green candle. So there was a buying in here. So I'm not surprised it did the rejection, but not with the tweet. No. So you can see, right, we have this up candle, they move down, and then price went up. Anytime that pattern is there, okay, um, price will not go down easily. It will not come down and then trade through it easily. No. Because again, it's high resistance. That is why if price is able to go below it, it's high resistance, low and a lower low. This pattern is the powerful pattern that you want to basically trade all the time, anywhere on any time frame. When the low has been taken and price goes higher, it's either they are going to come into discount and then go back up, or they will come and attack the low and then immediately reject. One of the two. So it's always good to look for that run on the low first. On any time frame, if you want to trade, let them run a low first and then go higher. Then you look for a buy, or let them run a high first and then go lower. Then you look for the sell everywhere. 1 minute to, I don't know, a yearly candle. That's all you want to do. So that's why it came into discount. It actually came into that gap up that happened on, I think that was again, him again. It was the same tweet on Monday evening that gas price up. And then he did the same thing yesterday, right there, same level. And price went up. Anyway, let's see. Today is Friday. Nothing really much because Fridays are end of the week when it comes to a currency market. So I don't do much when it comes to the currencies. Um, I just look for scalps because the week has ended. You don't want to get into a position expecting maybe 300, 400 pips or even 100 pips. On Fridays, you might not get it. So it's very important that on Fridays, you don't look for something huge to happen, especially from the New York session. Is the music okay?
oh yeah, it's great, vibing.
Okay. Yeah, so on Fridays you don't expect much because um the market has done what it needs to do, hence you don't want to do much because they've already done the high of the week and the low of the week. So expecting something big to come into the market, it's not going to happen. All right. So as it stands, the month has ended today. Today is 31st. So one thing that I always do is a monthly analysis when the month ends. Okay?
Nice.
You want to do a monthly, or let's say a high time frame analysis, right? Usually you do your weekly analysis every single week, but monthly analysis, you do it once a month when the month ends. Then you go onto the monthly to see how it ended. And then you can see how, in terms of fractals, what can happen the following month. Because if price is fractal, then there is an opportunity for you to know what the next month candle is going to do. So with, for example, if we started from somewhere down here, if this month end closes above that, that would be the change in the state of delivery. So the next month you'll be expecting an up candle. How would that up candle trade? It will trade by opening, going down, and then going up. When that month candle closes, how is the next month going to trade? If this one closed above the previous one, then this one is going to open, it's going to drop, and then it's going to rally, right? How did this one close compared to the previous one? Closed above it. So this one, you expect it to open, go down, and then go up and close. But it did not do that, right? So that means something else is happening. Hence, you pay attention to what can happen for the next month. And based on what I've shared with you so far, since the month ended as a rejection, then there's a high probability that next month is going to come and attack a low, either this one or that one. It's going to attack a monthly low. Okay. The fact that we rejected the previous month high means next month is likely to attack this one, that one. It needs to attack a low, right? So it can be a month, this month low, or the previous month low. Any of them is fine. Okay. So that gives you an idea of how the week is going to trade. Because again, if we are expecting next month, which is starting from Monday, to trade lower, then this up candle could be a redistribution, meaning this will end up as a fair value gap. So how does redistribution candles trade? They're gonna open, it's gonna go up, take out the high, and then start dropping. So next week, what could probably happen? Let me turn the monthly off from here. Okay. So next week, what can end up happening is this previous week lines that you see is gonna move to this one. So this will be previous week low. I'm anticipating next week's trading. So that's Monday to Friday. So this will be the PWH. It will be here when Monday opens. So what we'll end up having is the fair value gap just above the previous week high. So we will open, we want to see them go up, take out the weekly high, and then reject and come back down and attack this low. At least that's what we'll be expecting for the month of February. Now, it can because it's a new month, it can open and then manipulate a little bit higher into this level. But I wouldn't want them to do that, okay, because that would be too much, because it will go through. If you look at where this gap is, it's in here. So it will be going through the fair value gap on the weekly chart, right? So I would want to see them just open, take out the weekly high, and then start dropping. Okay, so that's what we're expecting. Let's see if that will be the case for next week. All right. Sorry guys. Hello, my Telegram. Someone is asking on YouTube, how do you stream Zoom on YouTube? That would be something.
I don't think
I'm
we
not
answered those questions.
I'm not a technical guy, so I'm not sure about that.
You type in, you open Chat GPT and you ask that same question, and then you keep watching the live session and learn how to trade. That's how you do it.
There you go. Very, very simple. Ask Chat GPT. I will tell you how to do it. All right. So
Honestly,
yeah,
we don't even have to address that. That's people know it's someone is just trolling, you know.
okay. So yeah, that's what I'll be expecting on the dollar index. So the same thing will be for the Australian dollar. Now you can see exactly where they reversed from yesterday, right? Right below this candle's low and the actual level that I think I marked out on the 1 hour over here. Now, again, I don't see any fair value gap on the daily. So this one ended up as an inside candle. Hence, it's either they're gonna open and then take out the weekly low and then reject. So on the weekly, I think I've missed that. We do have a volume imbalance. We do have a volume imbalance. So it's not bad. Okay, so they might open and then dip into that volume imbalance. That low. That level there as a volume imbalance. So they might open and then take the low of this week out, dip into that, and then potentially reject. So if anything is going to happen to Aussie, it should happen in this shaded area. Okay, so just below that there is a nice impulse move away, and price never came back to the order block. So watch that. Okay, they might go for that level instead, and then price might reject it. So watch next week that level. It can give you a decent day trade if price gets there. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let's go to euro. I think same thing applies to euro. The fair value gap is very close. Yeah. Hence, seeing them trading through this down candle, I would want to see Monday, Tuesday drive aggressively down, which it can, but we do have some weakness in the euro pound. Okay, the euro pound is dropping. I like the way we dipped into this. So with weakness in euro pound, they might send the euro lower. Okay, so next week I would want to see the Monday, Tuesday trade into that, and then we might get a rejection from there. Okay, so it's just opposite to the dollar index. Give me 1 second. Okay, so euro expect a continuation to somewhere here for next week. Today, this afternoon, maybe look for some scalp on the lower time frame. You can do it on the M15. I think that was a nice buying opportunity anyway, right? If I drop down to the 5 minutes, you're gonna see our buying pattern from there, and then price pulled back, yeah, went high. So Fridays, that's what you can do. Just look for a nice little 1 hour, 15 minutes auto block, and then basically buy, right? I'm sorry, British pound, that's the one that I said. I was expecting it to go higher after the big push. It came back to the auto block, the last down candle on the 1 hour, and then it started going up. And then lo and behold, Mr. JT or TJ, yeah, he tweeted and then sent price crashing down again.
What? Who's this?
JT, Donald Trump, or DJ.
Oh, okay. I'm like, cool, cool.
His actual name is, he has got a middle name, right?
Yeah,
I forgot his middle name.
yeah. He's got a middle name.
Yeah, Donald Trump, DT, whatever his name is. Yeah, he tweeted and then he sent it crashing down. So again, nothing really has happened on British pound. I like the fact that it has now created a fair value gap over. Very, very good on the weekly chart. So now on the weekly chart, we will have potential support, right? We have support, both the gap and the down candle. And we've also gone through a gap on the left. So that makes this area balanced price range. ICT did teach this concept, and he talked about it as a very, very old pattern that, the early forefathers of trading community started trading. Is called island reversal. Essentially, when price is going down like this, and then it creates not a gap, but actually a volume imbalance. So it will gap down and then it will gap up. So you have two gaps, not the fair value gap, but like an actual gap. So price will be going down, and then here, if we close here, the next one will gap down like this, right? And then price will print another up candle here, and then right in here, it will gap up as well, and then it will go up. That's what he calls the island reversal. And his reversal pattern is kind of based around that, because he sees this gap here as a volume imbalance, and then this gap here is a volume imbalance. So we do have an island reversal, especially if we do have like a low, when price is doing it near a low, where liquidity will be grabbed. That's why it's important for I talk about wanting to see a gap when price is reversing. When they take out the low, it needs to leave that gap, because that's what makes it powerful, or that's what makes it the momentum shift to the other side. So with how the British pound has not just closed for the week, but closed for the month, it's highly likely going to attack this high here going into next month. And it's similar to the pattern that I was talking about, I think a couple of days ago, on how I wanted Solana to close for the day. Okay, how I wanted Solana to close for the day on the monthly candle. You see how they've printed a nice candle with a big wick, right? So the next monthly candle is going to open and do something like this. So if you see another example here, it has a down candle. It has a wick at the top and a big wick at the bottom. In here, right, the same pattern form where price will form a down candle and then it will close above it, and then the month will end. When the month ends, when the month ends, okay, then the next month is just gonna go higher. It will not come back down because they've already done all the manipulation within this candle. So the next candle is just gonna open and then it's gonna go higher. Okay. So on the weekly, it looks something like this. They've taken out a low over there. And then they've traded through this. Same thing. They've taken out a low. And they've traded through this. Okay, so if you look, we have this all happening in April. So by the end of April, price has confirmed that we are not going to come back down again. By the end of January, price has confirmed we are not coming back down again just by trading through the gap here. Right? That is the clue, because that gap was meant to hold as resistance and then send price lower. It was meant to hold as resistance and then send price lower. Okay, so very, very good for next month trading. So what we can do with that now, when you have this kind of high time frame analysis and you have the understanding, then it can give you how the week is going to trade. So you can look at maybe next week, how is it like going to trade? It's going to open, it's going to drop down first, and it's going to go high. So your job is to sit and wait for that. Let them open the market. Don't do anything. Sit on your hands. If it's going to go higher, it will do it. It's going to open, it's going to drop, take out some form of a low. In this case, since we have a down candle, so likely take out this low, which is it comes in as it stands Wednesday's low. Wednesday's low is the low of the week. All right, so they're likely going to take that out next week, and then inside this area, okay, inside this area, then we're going to reverse. So inside that blue shaded area, what is the most significant area that you want to pay attention to? It's just two of them. It's this one and then that one. That is where they're going to trade to. Okay, inside the big shaded area, let me change the color a little bit. Okay, these are the two areas price is likely going to trade to, because it needs to be logical. Wherever it's going to trade to, it's not going to be random. It needs to be logical. And the only logical area is here. Why? Because there's a gap here and there's a gap here within the weekly gap. Right? So that's where you want to see price trade to next week. And then you start anticipating a reversal. So in a way, what you can start doing is you're going to start looking for a buy pattern to form somewhere in here. Of course, the week has not closed yet, but I don't think we're gonna get any, unless Mr. Trump comes in and start talking about tariffs again, and we might get some violent moves. But if not, I'm not expecting any big move till the end of the week, right? So this will be the areas that you want to be paying attention to going into next week. New Zealand, same thing, similar to Aussie dollar. You're gonna be watching that volume imbalance, and then below this candle's low. As it stands, the New Zealand is a little bit stronger than the Australian dollar, but this is the level you want to be watching next week, and then the volume imbalance on the weekly. On the lower time frame, I think looking for a scalp back down would be ideal for today, because they've left clean equal lows over here. It's too clean. If it was lower, then obviously you leave it none, but since it's a higher low, it's too clean, so you might want to look for a sell to go down. So on the M15, you can start looking for a sell pattern. We have this up and down candle, we have all this up. If they break that, pull back, you sell, and then start attacking this low. But today is Friday. Are they going to do it? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe yes. That's why I don't like trading Fridays. Gold. So gold ended up going for that high yesterday. Okay, which was nice to see. On the 1 hour, price didn't even print any more down candles. After our session, it just kept going up, up. And funny enough, the tweet did not affect gold much. Okay, it just took it into a doji candle for that 8 o'clock candle. So nothing really happened to gold. But I think it's going to continue going higher. Now, where we are, if we are looking at the monthly time frame, then you will see we've had 2 down candles as a reaccumulation, right? Now, seeing this, to me, it looks like the next month can also be an up candle for the month. Hence, we want next week to also close bullish. We've left a fair value gap, which is a sign that obviously price is going to continue going higher. Okay. The only thing is, since we are above a high over here, since you're above a high, it can form a potential, retracement. But if it's going to do it, you will see, because on the daily, you have protection, right? You have a gap. We had a gap in here. And this is a beautiful price action for this week, where we opened, we dropped down, and then it went higher. So if it's going to start retracing, you will know, because this gap is going to be your guidance, right? So next week, Monday, maybe one price to drop and dip into this gap, especially touching this candle's high, then a rejection to go up again. So you'll be looking for higher prices on gold next week. Okay, just sit, wait Monday, don't do anything, because you never know and what is going to happen about this high. Monday can drop down into this, and then you look for a same pattern like it did last week. I think they've been doing this for the last 4 weeks. And this is what makes, when you understand price, makes the weekly trading or the one shot, one kill. That's how I trade. Look for one trade on a pair in the week. That's it. you wait for the market to open. If it's going up or down, let them manipulate between Monday and Tuesday. So if you look closely, this was Friday. Let's start from here. This was Friday. Monday opened, it drops down. I think I got into that, and then price went higher. This was Friday. Monday opens, it drops down, and then you buy, and then it goes higher. This was Friday. Monday opens, and then it drops down, and then it goes higher. This was Friday. Monday opens, and then it drops down, and then it goes higher. Right? Repeating all the time. So next week, you want to see Monday open, drops down, and then it goes higher. I mean, this is the if price was to do this every single week, you're gonna be a millionaire. That's how you trade. You should trade anyway. But sometimes it doesn't do it. But most of the time, that's how you want to see price behave. This is a perfect price action. All right, that's how you want to see price behave, because the dropping down is actually causing the weekly low to form. Then price will go higher. And that's the power of three. I think it's the best trading style, but that's how I see it. So next week, you want to see market open, drop down into the gap, because all of them is some form of a gap. This one traded into this one. This Monday traded into a gap on the lower time frame. This one traded into a gap. This one also traded into a gap. There's a gap. We want them to trade into it. Expand high again. Okay. The futures is similar, just slightly different but similar. So with that big move above this high, I think they're likely going to continue going higher. So again, next week, anticipate them dropping into the gap between Monday, Tuesday. Then we expect price to reject. Now, future in the portal, I will show you how you can anticipate exactly where it's going to reverse. It will not be 100%, but you'll be up there, because again, when it's dropping, you will know, because there will be a specific level that has been left during the course of the week. So when it starts dropping, you will not see any level that price is going to reverse from, apart from the first one that you come across. Okay, so inside this area, right, let me just give you a hint. So if I was to project this to the left side, let me go on to the H4. Inside this big move, okay, that's where the low of the week is likely going to form. So where exactly is it going to form? We just use time of the day. Okay, so time of the day is very, very important. You find a specific time of the day during the New York session or London session that price went aggressive higher. So if I go to the H1, you can see this is the New York session from this to that. Okay, so inside that move, where do you find a fair value gap? There's one here, and there's one here. Okay, so inside this big move, okay, these are the two important levels. And then in London, price created one gap over here. So how do I anticipate the low forming? I just sit and wait for the pattern. If it's going to go up from here, right, then obviously they will print maybe an up candle and then a sharp move down to this one. Then it will start reject, break, then that's your low of the week. Then you look for the buy. Or it'll come here, bounce, and then shut down again, and then break. Then you look for the buy. That will be the low of the week. Or do that, and here, break. So you're always going to be waiting for that. You're not just gonna blindly sit there and then it hit this one and you're okay, cool, that's the low of the week. Let me buy it. No, that's not what you're gonna do. Okay. You're gonna wait for price to hit it and then show you that they are actually gonna move away from that. That's when that's the only time you engage. If you don't see that, then don't do anything. Why? Because it's likely not going to reverse for you from there. Okay, cool. So I'm just giving it to you. I can't shut up.
It's really good. It's really good.
So that's the same technique that I used last week. So if you remember last week when I was telling you it's likely going to take out this low here and then reject and go higher. All I did was drop down into the lower time frame below this low and then find a time of the day. I think it was on the it's more on the spot. On the futures, this gap, this little one here that happened during the landing session, that was the one that was below this low, and the low that I was expecting them to take it out. So below that, it's in the gap. This one has been traded over there. So what is next? There's nothing. So if it's going to reverse, it should reverse from here, because that's the only gap that exists below this low, and that's exactly where they reversed from last week. And that's the low of the week. Price never looked back. Okay, so the same way, if you're going to go higher, it will drop down into a specific level and then price go up. Now, you might say, okay, there's so many of them, which one? I don't know. Just wait. Time will tell. Okay, just have those levels on your chart and then sit and wait. When they come there, you're gonna see if they're gonna move away from it, because the buy will form in there. So in a way, all this movement to the downside actually was on the 8. All that movement to the downside. So you had the up candle, just 1, 2 down candles into it, and then price never looked back. So this was all a buy in here. And the price goes up. Okay, so if they're going to go up, you're not going to do anything. Your job is to just highlight the areas, sit on your hands and wait. Let them come there and then you do something. Okay. All right. Moving on. Time is right now, so we're gonna be quick. Crude oil has ended the week as a down candle, and we are already below 50% of the range. So next week, I'll be expecting a reversal. Now on the lower time frame, they've not actually shown any buying pattern yet. So I think next week we might drop and attack a weekly low again, and that is when the buy might happen. Okay, it's going to be 1st February. February is likely going to cause price to go higher. If you look at the monthly opening price to the day, you see here, right? We did not close back below it, so that's a good thing. Even though the monthly candle has this big wick, okay, I don't think it's going to attack this low because it did close above the previous month high, right? So in a way, it's still bullish, but we'll be watching it on the weekly. So we want next week to open, take out previous week low, and then start rejecting, start coming back up, because it doesn't need to go any further down. Why? Because if you look on the daily, okay, this is a gap. There's a volume imbalance. Coming all the way down here is possible, but not likely. Why? Because if they can trade through a volume imbalance, then there is a problem. Because volume imbalance are what it is. It's a volume. It just need to come and touch it and then go higher. So if they are attacking previous week low, it can hit this volume imbalance and then immediately reject from there. We don't want to see price straight through, especially in discount. So next week, watch this volume imbalance. Let me take it over there so you can see that. That's our level to keep an eye on for next week. So when we open, we want to see a drop into it and then a rejection. Okay, yes, again, nice didn't happen yesterday. During the New York session, during our session, I said, watch this breaker. Okay, watch that breaker. Wait for a pattern to form there, and then you use it to look for a buy. Why? Because it's gonna come and attack this equal high because it's too clean. Right? So after we finished the session, as it was going up, they dropped it down to it. And then right in here, you can see it. Someone came in and bought it with on the 15-minute chart with this one up candle, there's two down candles, and then the rejection leaving a fair value gap right here. That is your entry. Or you buy the breaker, either the gap or the breaker, and then price went for that equal high. I think I'm still in a trade, or they've closed it. Okay, so that's basically what I was talking about. To look for this level as your quote unquote point of interest. Okay, that's where most people like to call it point of interest. It's a level that you want price to come to, and then you do something. If you don't come there, you sit on your hands and wait. Okay. So, looking at how the week has ended, rejecting previous week low, we are likely to go higher for a previous week high, and I don't think it will take out this and then come down. It can, but I think it might go for this high. So on the daily, we are likely to go up here. Since this is just a pullback into a dealing range, we are likely to go and attack that. So next week, let me go to the H4. We do have the only level that make a little bit of sense is here because there's a gap up. So if they are going to form a low of the week, it can form in here or this little one. So these two levels is going to act as resistance, one of them to send price for this high. Okay, so that's the levels you're going to have on your chart, and then you sit and wait for price to trade to them. If price opens and it starts going up, don't chase it. That will not be the ideal thing to do. When it opens and it starts running up, don't chase it because there's a high probability it will not take out this high first. Look at how gold did. When it's approaching a high, price will normally pause and then come back and sweep those that are profitable before going for it. So if we open and you see it going up, do not chase it. Just wait for it to drop into some, either this one or that one. And then you look for the buy. The same thing that they did last week. This was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was Monday. As soon as you open, price dropped. The news that came out was absolutely ridiculous. Most people were talking about how price has wiped out 2 trillion or 5 trillion and whatnot. I was just laughing, thinking, you have no idea. Because all that drop did was come into discount to allow them to buy it up again. But they will not talk about them move up. Why? because that's not what they want people to know. They want people to come in thinking that it's going down, let them sell it. Because the news creates fear.
Yep.
Wiped out 2 trillion in a day. The biggest fall since the biggest fall since September 2020 or something like that. In a
Yeah,
day.
everyone's adjusting their portfolios right now. That's
Yeah,
on MSM, right? Yeah.
it's
That's the
crazy.
thing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the end of the week, we are back up above where it actually started from. So who made money? Is it those that sold or those that bought? Definitely those that bought. Because as it dropped, someone with big money was waiting for it. In a nice area, predetermined, is going to reverse from right there. Fair value gap. Why? Because there was a buy that went on in here. So they run the low and then break the high. Then that's your buy pattern. Comes back down, the discount, rejection, and then off the way. That's why I was buying in here, buying in here. Okay, so next week, watch out for that because we are likely going to go for this high, but have these two levels as your levels to basically look for the low of the week to form. Okay, one of them. Okay, I'm gonna run through the cryptocurrencies quickly because nothing really has changed. What I was expecting still hasn't fulfilled. They are yet to close above a previous day's high. Now, when price is not doing that, it's a problem because it needs to close somewhere. And since Tuesday, okay, price has not closed either up or down. Okay, let me zoom in so you can see what I mean. This did not close below that. This did not close anywhere. This did not close higher. So it leaves price in a kind of a consolidation, and it's not good to be trading. We need the close somewhere. When it closes higher above the previous candle's high, that is our signal to trade for the day. Okay, because if it does it, it means that price has committed to go on to that side. So Solana, we want to see a daily close above the previous day's high. That is what needs to happen. If we don't get that, then you need to sit on your hands and wait. Maybe they will close below. I don't know, but I want to see them close above this high. So maybe today, a close above yesterday's high is going to be ideal. If not, again, sit on your hands. I think we talked about this candle, right? That is likely going to hold and send price higher. They put back into it. On the lower time frame, it came to that level that I marked. That's the breaker. Had yesterday closed above Wednesday's high, then today that's exactly where you want to be anticipating the buy to form. And I think that's the narrative that I gave you yesterday. If yesterday was to close above Wednesday, then you wait for this. It's going to come back to this candle's high and then form the low and then expand high and leave in a fair value gap. So let's see. Hopefully it can shoot up because they've actually created a buy in here, right? With this move down, rejection, fair value gap. So if we pull back, you can actually, get a day trade, and then hopefully that day trade can lead into a big move that might close above previous day's high. Bitcoin, nothing really. That also failed to close above the previous day's high. Now I won't be surprised, okay, because we did close above the gap. Yeah. So I won't be surprised today if we shoot up aggressively from that area. Okay, so Bitcoin, if you are a day trader, where we are, you can anticipate a move to move higher to attack previous day's high. And fingers crossed, Mr. Trump will tweet something positive for cryptos, and then they will go and run the previous week's high. Okay, so I'm looking for higher price. I'm not looking for lower prices. Right, on the H4, let's see if there's any level. Yeah, we do have a special candle in here. So where we are now is enough, and then we want to see price shoot up from here. All right, Ethereum, it's looking like it's going to break the high. So if we break it, as I was saying, maybe they've now realized Ethereum needs to catch up with all what the others were doing. So Ethereum might go and break this high, and then we look for a continue. We only buy once we break it. Okay, so once we break it, it looks like it's now leaving a gap here. Okay, so if we break it, then you can look for the buy on Ethereum. If not, just sit on your hands. If today closes bullish, maybe tomorrow, look for a buy to continue going for this previous week, because I would want to see them aggressively run for that high. Okay, this open here is too clean. This high and the high is too clean. Hype. I think hype is breaking away from the consolidation from the monthly perspective, right? It's projecting, so that has formed the low of the month. The weekly is going to close hopefully above it. If it does, that will be that special candle. Then you'll be hunting for next week to go up. So I think, waiting for next week will be the best thing to do on hype. Don't do anything as it stands. Let the week close above this previous week high. Then next week, you can look for a low to form from this candle's high, maybe right there or just a little bit below it. And then we can start aiming back up here at 35, 24. Ripple. From the daily perspective, it's still not doing much, but from the weekly, since we have taken out that previous week low, we can look at this week's high as an objective for next week. If we close as it is, then this will be a potential target for next week, and this candle is still going to be a point of reference. Okay, so if we can close like this, or I don't know, someone will come in over the course of Saturday and Sunday and shoot it up. We are bullish, we are not bearish. So you're looking for a buy. This is your point of reference. AI, nothing really is happening. It's doing that consolidation. So again, sit and wait. Don't do anything. Let them come to this low. That's our point of reference. Once that low is taken, that's when you start engaging. Until then, maybe look for potential sell ideas to come to that level. And then lastly, tool. I think that tool has not done much.
So
It's not done much over the course of yesterday and today. They actually went on the previous day's high and then rejected nicely. Right? Previous day's high taking boom down. So I'm expecting a continuation to the downside. On the H4 is giving a nice sell pattern. This is the pattern that I love. If you see this, I get excited because they run it, manipulate everyone, and then boom, send it down. This becomes the breaker. So I would want to see them go down from where we are. Or maybe it might go back a little bit higher into this candle's low and then go down. So we are still on course for the run for this clean for lows before we want to see all the buyers come in. Okay, so nothing much, just price following the script. And I think I'm done for now.
Amazing. That was great. As always, very humbled. Took lots of notes. Um, yeah. Thanks very much. And why don't we cap it off nice and early? I had to stay up a little bit last night pushing through some things with the devs, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm running on low sleep, but gonna make up for it a little bit later today.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So why don't we cap it off, and then we can uh, resume. You and I can chat a little later, and we'll resume on Monday for the sessions.
Sure, sure. No problem. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone for the week. We will see you next week.
All right, sweet. See you next week.